Hello everyone, my dear followers. Today I want to welcome you to a new chapter of What If Naruto Had the Rinnegan and Fell in Love with TAYUYA. Remember, if you want more chapters, just smash that like and subscribe button. Enjoy.
Chapter 9 Invasion. Jankenpon, or more commonly known as Janken, was a game derived from San Sukumi Ken, a battle between snake, frog and slug. Janken, unlike what most believed, was not a random game. It was a battle of mind. It was the ultimate test of ability. The ability to predict and outmaneuver your opponent. There existed old scrolls containing the secret of Janken. The scrolls held the formula. The formula of victory. In it was written the many strategies that could be performed in Janken. Some of the strategies include, but not limited to history matching, frequency analysis, and random guessing. All of that, in Janken, shinobi style were useless. In Janken, shinobi style, the two shinobi who faced each other would employ tricks and mind games to defeat the enemy. The most common tricks are dojutsu, genjutsu, and ninjutsu. When a Janken was declared in a battlefield, the two opposing shinobi shall duel with their full strength, and in the end, only one may walk away victorious. Right now, two teammates, two friends, a Uchiha and a Uzumaki stood facing each other in this deadly duel. Jankenpon. They threw their hands. In that second, the Uchiha's eyes transformed. He predicted Naruto's next move, scissors, and reacted accordingly. He froze. Naruto smirked. Had he made an error? The magnificent Uchiha-sama. The Naruto facing him suddenly disappeared and was substituted by different Naruto. A Kage Bunshin. Curse him. When the hands were revealed, the result was a draw. Both papers, much to Naruto's surprise. What manner of trickery is this? Naruto demanded. Sasuke smirked. I know that you must have set a trap somewhere. That is why instead of throwing a winning hand, I, the great magnificent Uchiha-sama, decided to throw a paper. Why don't you just throw a scissors? Logically speaking, I would throw a paper, and if you threw a scissors, it would end in your victory, Naruto pointed out. It would, wouldn't it? Sasuke tilted his head. Oh God, why didn't I do that? It matters not. Let us continue. They drew their hands back. Jankenpon. This time, they punched each other. They glared. Cheating bastard, they shouted at the same time. Jankenpon. Their paper met each other. Stop copying me, they shouted at each other. Jankenpon. The audience stared blankly. What the hell? One Inuzuka Kiba summed their thought perfectly. That's Sasuke and Naruto. Alright. Sakura shook her head and with a smile. What do you mean, Sakura? Ino asked. Naruto and Sasuke realized if they battle right now, Naruto will win, no contest. Sasuke's chakra is even lower than a genin right now. He won't be able to fight. That is why they decided to finish the match like this, Kakashi explained as he watched his students with Sharingan. This shall be recorded in his mind for eternity. A Janken battle between a Uchiha and a Uzumaki. Quite a rare sight. This might be even better than Ika Ika. Kakashi scoffed. No way. Nothing is better than his precious Ika Ika. Who will win this battle? Kurenai asked. Most likely Naruto. Unless Sasuke decided to consume all his remaining chakra for one jutsu. Overall, Sasuke is a little stronger and faster than Naruto. But Naruto's Uzumaki heritage gave him enhanced stamina and healing, Kakashi answered. Hokage Dano, your ninjas are certainly unique, the Kazekage commented. Indeed, Kazekage-sama, they certainly are. Itachi watched the battle with an amused face. How much longer will this match go? The Mizukage wondered. I believe they will finish this soon. The Uchiha looked as if he was about to faint. Jankenpon. Sasuke summoned all of his chakra for one last strike. His eyes glinted. Sasuke Oji, Nisenin Goroshi. Sasuke's secret technique, 2,000 years of death. Sasuke instantly moved to Naruto's back and struck with a Senin Goroshi. Just like in preliminary, Sasuke felt the world stop. Then Naruto flew. Damn you Uchiha, screamed the flying boy. When Naruto began to descend, Sasuke moved to Naruto's landing area. He punched Naruto back to the sky. Sasuke raised his right hand to the left of his neck. He made a thumbs down and dragged his hand across his neck. The universal sign of kill you. Naruto slammed to the ground. The proctor checked him. When Naruto did not move, he announced the winner. Winner, Uchiha saw dash. He was cut off when a flying sandal hit Sasuke. Already weak because his chakra ran out, Sasuke instantly fell unconscious. Naruto stood back up, his other sandal raised. Use any tools for victory. Even sandals, Naruto stated with a smirk as he threw his other sandal aside. Winner, Uzumaki Naruto. The proctor declared with a shocked expression. The moment Naruto's victory was declared, all hell broke loose. The Kage area exploded and ninjas from Taki, Suna, Oto and Kiri moved to attack. Damn, no warning at all. Naruto muttered as he avoided a Kirinin attack and punched the ninja back. Sasuke. Wake up, he shouted at the unconscious boy. Sasuke was surrounded by enemy ninjas. Before they could touch him, they were struck by a hail of Senbon. Naruto-san, I'll protect, Sasuke-kun. Do not worry, Haku appeared beside Sasuke and carried the boy on her shoulder. Naruto nodded. Then he sensed a presence behind him and he attacked. Calm down, kid. It's me, Jiraiya grabbed his arm. Jiraiya-sama, how are the Jinchurikis? Naruto asked. You, Kushina and I will take care of them. I noticed that your chains could hold them back. Jiraiya took out a pill. Here, swallow this, it will restore your chakra. Naruto wordlessly took the pill and placed it in his mouth. It seems that his mother had to fight after all. Let's go. Naruto and Jiraiya went to search Kushina. Now, I would like to say this is a surprise. Then again, not really, Itachi stood beside the Raikage. The Raikage had tossed aside his cloak and hat, revealing his dark-skinned, muscular build. Beside him stood Killer Bee, his brother, and Hachibi Jinchuriki. You found out, huh? The Kazekage smirked. Of course, do you think an alliance of 4 villages could pass through our network? Scoffed and prepared himself for a fight. That is indeed, too bad. I was hoping to finish this quickly. Yagura, the Mizukage was surrounded by his Biju chakra. His form disappeared under the dense chakra and the chakra grew larger. Sanbai. Itachi noted the 3 shadowy tails behind it. The chakra faded and the form of a giant turtle, with crab shell and 3 shrimp-like tiles was revealed. Sanbai no Kayadegame opened his left eye, showing a black eyes with red pupil. His right eye seemed injured, noted. Then, it is clear where we must attack. Itachi threw his Hokage hat aside. Time to fight. Better say good night. B was surrounded by Biju chakra, much like Yagura. Itachi and they jumped away from the transforming Jinchuriki. Let us allow the Jinchuriki to fight one another. We have a troublesome enemy here, Itachi nodded at the Kazekage. But first, I would like to know. Who are you? The Kazekage laughed. He threw his hat, and dispelled his genjutsu, revealing a man with orange mask. The mask showed only one eye of his, which he kept closed. You may call me Toby. Who is this clown? Wondered. He did not recognize the name Toby and he was certain he knew every S-ranked ninjas in the bingo book. I recognized you from the description Jiraiya gave. You are the man who killed Namikaze Minato, Itachi accused. Correct, Toby gave a bow. Turned serious. The death of Namikaze Minato was a mystery to the whole shinobi world. The Yondaime Hokage was considered to be the strongest shinobi in their time and there, in front of him stood the man who killed the legend. Toby opened his eye, revealing a Sharingan. This will be annoying, Itachi commented as the battle began. Hello, sensei, Orochimaru greeted his sensei, Sarutobi Hiruzen. Orochimaru, I heard that you are the leader of Otogakure. The old man was in his full battle garb. It seems that you are here to attack Konoha. The snake Sannin smirked. Sasuke was awoken by the sounds of fighting. What the hell? Sasuke looked around. The stadium was like a battlefield. Everywhere there were ninjas battling one another. Sasuke. Attack Taki, Kiri, Suna and Oto. They are invading. Kakashi shouted at his student. Sasuke nodded. Then he realized that his chakra was practically empty. Sasuke-kun, here, a soldier pill. Haku gave him a pill and he swallowed it. Okay, bring it on. Sasuke activated his Sharingan and met his enemies in battle. Fugaku, you let your guard down. Hayashi told his rival as he stopped an enemy who was about to attack Fugaku from behind. I am merely allowing them the honor of striking the great Uchiha once. That should be an acceptable gift for them to bring to hell, Fugaku arrogantly smirked. Fugaku, stop acting arrogant, Mikoto advised him as she burned a Takinin with a fireball. Hyuga Hizashi chuckled, if he is not arrogant, then he is an imposter. Jiraiya-sama, where are we going? Naruto asked Jiraiya. After they found Kushina, Jiraiya told the mother and son to follow him. They are currently moving away from the village. Naruto wondered why. We are going to the place of your birth, Jiraiya told him. Why? Naruto asked again. That place was made to contain Kyuubi chakra. It was the place where Uzumaki Mito, the first Kyuubi Jinchuriki gave birth, and was the place where you were born. I see, so it is the three of us, against Ichibi, Rokubi, Nanabai, Naruto guessed. Only Rokubi and Nanabai. Ichibi Jinchuriki, Gaara was taken to a secure place and I already reinforced his seal. Where is Yujito-san? Naruto asked. Wondering why the Nibi Jinchuriki is not helping them. She has a job, Jiraiya answered shortly. And the job is? Guess. Naruto thought about it. Sochi, what is the most vital component of an invasion? Kushina asked. An army. Is she fighting against the enemies in Konoha? No, Jiraiya smirked. She is fighting near Kiri. Naruto's eyes lighten up in realization. She is preventing the reinforcement from Kiri. Yes, and IWA with their Jinchurikis are attacking Suna and Taki. I suspected that when I was with Itachi-sama. IWA is our ally, isn't it? We scratch their back, they scratch ours. Jiraiya stopped. Here we are. Just enter this cave and we are there. Naruto felt a small amount of fear. Fear of not being able to protect his mother. He ignored it. They entered the cave. A giant blue-flamed two-tailed cat spat a fireball at the incoming Kiri ships. They did not manage to avoid it and the ship burned. The cat grinned. That horrifying sight was the last thing the Kirinin saw. A brown-eyed man wearing an armor stood in front of the Suna army. An army of Iwanins behind him. Attack, he commanded, and the battle between Iwa and Suna began. Han decided that it was a good time to be a Jinchuriki of Gobi. A red-haired old man sighed as an army of Takinins appeared in front of him. He wore a large headpiece made of a three-pointed crown-like ridge with a Wagakure forehead protector on it. Damn Inoki. He muttered, this is the last time I'll do you a favor. He slammed his hands on the ground. The army of Takinins screamed as the ground they were standing on suddenly transformed into lava. Rashi, the Yonbi Jinchuriki sighed again as more Takinins appeared. The three Konoha ninjas stared at the raging beasts. One was a giant bipedal slimy white slug with 6 tails. Rokubi. No, Saiken. A voice sounded in Naruto's head. The other was a giant blue kabutomushi with 7 tails, 6 resembling green insect wings and the 7th growing from its abdomen. It had 6 legs. Nanabai. No, Komiai. The voice called out again. They were attacking the whole area but the seal prevented them from destroying anything. Honestly, Naruto was scared. He was confident when facing the Jinchuriki, but now, seeing them in Biju forms, he realized how weak he was compared to them. Sochi, it's going to be alright, Kushina hugged him. He calmed down. Alright, you both restrain the Biju, 1 each. Then I'll place several seals on them, Jiraiya informed the plan to Kushina and Naruto. They nodded. Kushina and Naruto created several chakra chains and sent them towards the beasts. Roku no, Saiken, became alert and spat out acid to a chain, melting it. The chain quickly reformed using more chakra and continued on its path. Then Nanabai. Komiai used his middle tail to slam Kushina. Naruto moved on its path and was sent flying away. Naruto! Kushina screamed. She tried to reach the boy but the Nanabai and Rokubi prevented her advance. Naruto felt his bones cracked and he tried to stand but only managed to sat. He saw Saiken beside him. Saiken, sensing his presence, met his gaze with his 2 tentacle eyes. Naruto felt a sudden headache when he met Saiken's eyes as information flooded his brain. Saiken, corrosive substances. able to hurt other Biju. He then turned to Komiai. Komiai, various powders. Dangerous effects. He muttered, "What is it, Naruto-kun?" Kushina asked Naruto. Naruto ignored her, still in daze. Kushina looked worried. It was unlike Naruto to ignore her. When Komiai saw them, it suddenly flapped its wings faster. Komiai, Rinpungakure. Prevent, Naruto stated in daze. Kushina listened and watched as Naruto's chains moved faster and held the wings of the Nanabi before it could unleash its powder. Saiken, noticing its sibling in danger, spat a corrosive acid on the chains. Saiken, Kuzurasuru. Substitute target, Naruto moved another chains to stop the acid before it hit the chains holding Komiai. Saiken roared in frustration. Kushina and Jiraiya watched in shock as Naruto controlled the chains as if he was controlling his own hands. The chains subdued the Bijus easily as if it was facing a group of genins. Suddenly, they felt Naruto's chakra explode and the chains became faster. Geto, Kusari. Outer path, chain, Naruto muttered in daze. The Bijus roared in pain as the chains glowed. Jiraiya and Kushina stared as the Bijus weakened and finally transformed back into their Jinchurikis. After the Jinchurikis fell unconscious, Naruto turned to face Jiraiya and Kushina with glazed eyes. Geto, Kusari. Again, the chains appeared, this time, targeting Jiraiya and Kushina. Jiraiya cursed. Itachi cursed in unknowing unison with Jiraiya. "You are annoying," he told Tobi. No matter what he did, their attacks would pass through the masked shinobi. Beside them, the battle between a bull octopus and a deformed turtle raged on. The sanbais remaining, I was struck by the octopus ink and it berserked around without aiming its attacks. The Hachibi was. I float, like a butterfly. And sting like a bee. 'Cause I'm the Hachibi, being crazy. B. End that battle now. We'll surround this guy, bro. Prepare to feel the Hachibi-sama power. B. In Hachibi form made a black ball of energy. The Baijidama, the ultimate attack of a Biju. The attack made by balancing the black and white chakra 8:2 ratio respectively. The ball was compressed by the bull octopus mouth. The moment he unleashed the black sphere, the ground shook. Itachi turned and had to admit, he was impressed. The sanbai's shell was broken through and the beast fell, transforming back into Yagura. It seems that I am in a disadvantage, Tobi commented as the Hachibi and the two Kages turned to him. I will retreat. For now, his body spun and he disappeared. Space-time jutsu. Itachi frowned. The last shinobi who used space-time manipulation became known as the first SSS-ranked shinobi in the elemental country. Now the killer of said shinobi used the same space-time manipulation, as what Nara Shikaku would say, troublesome. In the arena, the Konoha forces managed to defeat their opponents. The invading forces were planning to attack until their reinforcements arrived, but thanks to Kyumo and IWA, the reinforcements were destroyed before they arrived. When the news of IWA and Kyumo's assistance spread, the morale of the invading forces decreased. It decreased further when they noticed that the Jinchurikis disappeared. When Yagura was defeated, they surrendered. Kakashi scanned the area. Naruto, where are you? Jiraiya and Kushina stood before Naruto's Uno-conscious form. Jiraiya stared at his godson with toad-like eyes. What happened to you, Naruto? What happened to him? Kushina voiced Jiraiya's thought. The Kyubi chakra receded from her and her red-slitted eyes returned back to her usual violet blue. I don't know, Jiraiya wondered why Naruto went into a daze all of the sudden. Not only that, in that state, he only used his chains and no jutsu. What was it he called the chains? Geto, Kusari. His control over the chains was amazing. He even defeated Kushina before she used Kyubi chakra to reinforce her chains. Does it have something to do with Kyubi? Kushina wondered. Perhaps Kyubi's chakra poisoned or affected Naruto in some ways. He snapped when he saw the Biju. No, Mito-sama's son, Tsunade's father was a normal shinobi, aside from his Uzumaki and Senju heritage. Naruto is special, he just wondered how special. For now, let's go back to the village. We subdued the Jinchurikis. That's it, Kushina hinted that they need to keep Naruto's problem a secret. Jiraiya nodded, alright. Though, I need to tell the Hokage and Tsunade about it. Good idea, Tsunade might be able to find out what's wrong with him. They returned to Konoha, carrying the 3 unconscious ninjas. Naruto woke up and saw an unfamiliar white ceiling. Where, he muttered, Sochi, you are awake. Kushina hugged him. Naruto noted that she must have been beside him for a while. She looked as if she did not sleep for some days. He seemed to be in a hospital room. Okasama? Naruto hugged back, confused. You've been unconscious for 5 days. Kushina told him. Tsunade told me that nothing is wrong, but I was so worried. I'm fine. Naruto noted that his voice was hoarse. Rest, Naruto, I'll call Tsunade. Kushina kissed his forehead and walked out of the room. What happened? Naruto wondered. Naruto standing before Kushina, his chains binding her. She screamed in pain. Naruto shook his head. What was that? Naruto grabbed his head. Geto. The same voice that called out to him when he faced the Biju came back again. Geto. Naruto wondered whether listening to a voice in his head made him crazy or not. He decided not to think about it. He should look for any books about this Geto after he was released. So, how are you feeling? Tsunade asked as she entered the room with his mother. Fine, just hungry. Naruto answered. Alright, we'll prepare some food for you. Do you have any headaches? Tsunade asked as she took out a note and a pen. No, Naruto lied. Tsunade looked suspicious but decided to ignore it. Do you remember anything? No, he lied again. I just remember trying to stop the Biju and nothing else. Tsunade wrote something on the note. How is your chakra? Naruto tried to gather his chakra. To his surprise, it was easier than before. I can draw it easier than before. Stay still for a while. Tsunade placed her hand over his body. The hand glowed green and Tsunade moved it over all part of his body. Tsunade frowned. What's wrong, Tsunade? Kushina asked, concerned about her son. Impossible. Tsunade scanned Naruto again. What is wrong with my body, Tsunade-sama? Naruto asked. Naruto, do you know how to unlock the 8 gates? Tsunade asked. Naruto shook his head and her frown deepened. Tsunade, what is wrong with my son? Kushina asked, her worry clear in her face. Kumon, Tsunade stated in disbelief. The mother and son looked confused. Naruto's Kumon is opened. And still is. Kumon. The second gate? Naruto asked. Yes, as of right now, your body is constantly opening the second gate. This is bad. Tsunade paced around the room. Then she saw the other two's puzzled expressions. The Kumon or the Gate of Healing is used to forcibly increase the user's physical strength and to temporarily re-energizes the body. As of right now, you are like a lamp that is always on. My chakra is constantly being used. If this keeps up, I will run out of chakra and die, Naruto concluded. What should we do, Tsunade? Kushina tried to hide her anxiety but failed. I need a Hyuga to seal the gate. Kushina looked relieved but Tsunade continued, but there is a risk. What risk? Kushina asked. The Kumon is located in the brain. A single mistake in the procedure may cause him brain damages. Do it, Naruto told her. Naruto! Kushina shouted at her son. How could he be so calm? What if the damage turn him into a vegetable? It is either that or a slow death, Naruto told her. Even right now, I can feel my chakra decreasing. I'll tell the Hokage. Tsunade left. Sochi, I will be fine, Okasama. Even Naruto was not convinced by what he said. The next day, Naruto laid on an operating table. Tsunade-sama, what are the risks? Naruto asked Tsunade when he realized that they were alone. 1. You might not be able to use chakra anymore. 2. You might lose your memories. 3. You might turn into a vegetable. 4. You might become stupid, Tsunade told him. Was the last one a joke? Naruto tried to smile. Tsunade did not say anything. Soon, more people came to the operating room. Naruto felt a drug was injected to him. And he allowed himself to lose consciousness. Begin the operation. Naruto opened his eyes. He was standing in a plain. He looked around. No matter where he looked, there was only the grass plain. Naruto looked at the sky. He saw the moon. No, it was not the moon. It was a ball with 4 concentric circles and 9 tomo. The 3 tomo closest to the middle glowed red. Where am I? Chapter 10 Realms of Existence. Uzumaki Naruto walked. He did not know how long had it been. He just picked a direction and walked. Walked, and walked. Naruto glared at the giant shining ball in the sky. He began to wonder whether the operation failed and he had gone crazy because of it. After what felt like a few hours of walking, he lost his composure. Where the hell am I? He tried to gather his chakra but failed. It was as if his chakra was gathered but they were not there. What is wrong with my chakra? He wondered and tried to gather his chakra again. He saw a wisp of blue chakra in a distance. He immediately ran towards it. As he drew closer, the blue chakra became clearer. He found himself on a cliff. He noted that the blue chakra was floating at the edge. Sounds of waves crashing at the cliff filled the area. Welcome, Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto blinked. Did the chakra just spoke? He asked himself. The chakra has no mouth and the voice sounded similar to his. He had no proof that it was the chakra who spoke but his instinct told him that it was the chakra, and he believed it. Chakra? It seems that you are still unable to gaze upon my true form, the chakra spoke again. Who are you? Naruto instantly became cautious. He was unable to use chakra and a strange being appeared in front of him. If it was a hostile, he doubted he would win the battle. I art thou. No, I suppose, thou art I would be more appropriate. What? Naruto tilted his head. This form is unsuited for us to communicate, the chakra transformed into himself. The same clothes, the same blonde hair. The other Naruto opened his eyes, revealing a ripple-like patterned light purple eyes. In the instant Naruto saw the eyes, Naruto was captivated. Do you like the eyes? It is ours, the other Naruto told him. Then he chuckled, no, it should be ours. It was ours. You are confusing, Naruto bluntly told him. Am I? I suppose I consider it as a compliment then. He saw Naruto's expression and chuckled. Ask me your questions, perhaps I may answer. Why do you look like me? Naruto asked. I would answer your question, but before I do, would you care to try answering? Are you my chakra? That was Naruto's guess. He first appeared as a chakra, it would be logical to assume that he is his chakra given form. I suppose that was close. However, I am afraid that is not the answer. Naruto tried to think again, those eyes are dojutsu right? Then are you some kind of sentient dojutsu? Again, it was close. However, it was still not the correct answer, the being gave another chuckle. Alright, what are you then? Naruto asked. You may call me, Tendo, the other Naruto. Tendo gave a bow. Tendo. Naruto remembered the voice. Are you the voice in my head? I am quite offended. I would prefer not to be identified simply as the voice in your head. My apologies, but am I correct? Naruto asked him. If his guess was correct, then he could ask the man many things. Especially about how he had information Naruto did not know. Correct, I am the one who spoke to you. Now this was a welcome surprise. He was not expecting the positive answer. Then again, it might be that all of this was a genjutsu or his hallucination because of the failed operation. I am neither an illusion, nor a hallucination, Tendo informed him, frowning as if he had been insulted. Then his frown transformed into a smile. What is your next question? Geto, what is it? Naruto asked. His mind flashed back to the image he saw of his mother being bound by his chains. The last thing he remembered was the word, Geto. First, I should return your memories of that battle. Tendo waved his hand at the moon and it began to glow. Watch the water, he told Naruto. Naruto moved closer to the edge of the cliff and watched as the area of water that was bathed by the light of the moon showed a familiar sight. When his eyes met with Saiken's, his mind went blank. He changed. He was not Uzumaki Naruto anymore. He was Geto. The outer realm. Saiken, corrosive substances. Able to hurt other biju. He then turned to Komiai. Komiai, various powders. Dangerous effects. He muttered. What is it, Naruto-kun? He heard a woman voice asked him. He ignored it. He must neutralize the berserking beasts first. He saw Komiai flapping his wings. He recognized it. Komiai, Rinpungakure. Prevent, he must stop the attack. Komiai's blinding powder was a threat. He sent his chains to held Komiai's wings. He heard Saiken trying to help Komiai and moved his chains to prevent it. Saiken, Kuzurasuru. Substitute target, the chains he used to divert the attack was hit and they melted. Then he realized that his body was not in an optimal state. The damage would prove to be a trouble. He wordlessly unleashed the second limiter and felt his body healing instantly. With that done, he moved to end the battle. Geto, Kusari. Saiken and Komiai roared in pain. He tightened the chains and saw them revert to their normal form. Target neutralized. However, there were two more presents. If left alone, they might hurt the vessels of Saiken and Komiai. He must neutralize them. Geto, Kusari. He sent the chains at the white-haired man and the red-haired woman. The man and woman avoided his chains easily. He increased the speed of his chains and attacked them again. The man created a swirling sphere of chakra and destroyed one of his chain. Impressive. The woman summoned her own chains. He noted that the chains were similar to his. Was she a relative? However, in face of Geto, no mortal weapon could survive. His chains crashed onto the woman's and her chains broke. His chains caught the woman. He stood before her as she screamed in pain. He flinched, her voice sounded familiar. His musing was cut short when he was struck by the man. That swirling sphere was quite powerful. It matters not. Geto only had one mission, to eliminate any who stood against the paths of samsara. Geto noticed that the man had different eyes. Does this man possess a blessed eyes? No. It was clear that he did not. The man was nothing more than a mere mortal. When he sensed another chakra exploding, he realized that he had released the woman. The woman was surrounded by a familiar chakra. Kurama, one of his. The woman's eyes met his. He noted that it was Kurama's. It seemed that the vessel of Kurama was a hostile. With that confirmed, he unleashed his chains once more. However, he noticed that his chains could not reach the man. The man was blessed by nature. Such a surprise. It would not do for him to fight against a blessed of nature. He decided to stop his chains and allowed the man to knock him out. Geto relinquished the control of the body. His mission would wait for the next time. Naruto stared at the now clear water blankly. What was that? Whatever controlled his body managed to match his mother and Jiraiya only by using chakra chains. He also managed to unlock the second gate. But most importantly, he managed to defeat 2 Biju easily. That was Geto. The seventh, Tendo informed him as the moon stopped glowing. His voice as he called Geto could only be considered mocking. It was as if he considered Geto beneath him. Truly, he was foolish. He almost caused an irreparable damage to our body by unlocking the second limiter. No, not unlocking, he forced it to open. He tore it apart. Naruto guessed that the limiter was the gates. If what Tendo said was true, then the reason why the second gate was open permanently was because of Geto. How could he defeat the Bijus like they were nothing? Tendo met his gaze and answered, Geto is effective against beings of destructive nature. His power is increased when facing any kind destructive force. On the other hand, he was unable to hurt a blessed of nature. To put it simply, he is an anti-Biju weapon. Blessed of nature. Naruto has never heard that term before. But he seemed to be referring to Jiraiya, a sage. Someone who is able to communicate and work together with nature. Our power would not be as effective against them. Geto is rather unique. As you saw, the seventh was unable to harm the sage. Naruto nodded, he did saw the chains disappearing just before they struck Jiraiya. He needed to ask his godfather about this, blessed of nature. Maybe Jiraiya could give him more information. Then he realized what Tendo said. The seventh? Naruto asked, if that was the seventh, does that mean there are at least 6 more of them? Indeed, there are 7 of us. I am the first, Tendo smiled proudly as he stated it. What are you? Naruto asked again. We are the paths of samsara. We are the cycle of rebirth. We are the realms of existence. With each sentence the pressure around Tendo grew. Naruto stared at the being, speechless. After some time, Naruto finally found his voice. Why are you in me? Because you are chosen. The moment you have awoken the eye of samsara, the Rinnegan, we exist inside you. You are our master, Rinnegan. Naruto tested the name. It sounded right. Then he realized one thing. But I have never activated the eyes. Then I will show you. The moment of my ascension. Again, the moon glowed and Naruto watched the ocean again. He was walking back home from his training. He suddenly saw a shadow and decided to follow it. He sneaked around and arrived in a training ground. Sochi, he heard his mother shout and turned. He immediately wished he did not turn. His mother lay bleeding on the training ground. A Kumo shinobi near her. He felt his world break. His mother. His lovely mother was dying. Dying, dead, daddad. Immediately, his vision went white. He stared blankly at the man who was carrying a girl. The genjutsu worked. He must be in shock now, the man told another shinobi beside him. What was the genjutsu about? His accomplice asked. Just about that bitch mother of his dying. With the Yondame's son with us, they will reward us more. Let's take him. This man showed him an illusion of his mother dying. This mortal dared to insult his mother. Die. Just as the man was about to reach him, he and his friend was pushed back by an invisible force. He saw from the corner of his eyes that the girl was dropped. He felt his eyes transforming. He knew the feeling. He recognized it. When his eyes began to create a ripple pattern, he knew. He was Tendo. The heaven realm. The path of God. He was the first. He saw a ball of thunder approaching him and lazily sent it back with a wave of his hand. Mortal, you dare raise your hand against me? He asked. Your bravery is commendable. However, it is foolish. Trash should know their place. He raised his hand. Tensei. Heaven Conqueror, he made a fist and the mortal exploded. The other mortal shook from fear. Good, at least he recognized his superior. I am not unforgiving. I shall allow you one chance to beg for forgiveness, mortal, he declared to the mortal. The mortal shook even harder, pathetic. Truly he represented the sad state of the mortals. Please forgive me, the mortal knelt. The mortal threw away all pride he had for a chance to live. He laughed. Shinra Bansho. All of creation, everything around the mortal suddenly crashed onto him. The mortal screamed as he was buried under the ground, mud, and trees. The power of the pull kept increasing and he felt the mortal life force fading. Disappear from my sight, the mortal and everything that stuck near him exploded. He noticed that the mortal girl watching him. Who am I, mortal? He asked the mortal girl. Her answer would decide whether he would allow her to live or not. You are a god, the mortal answered. He laughed. Indeed, I am the first path of samsara. I am the realm of God, he told the girl as he floated away. Naruto stared. This time, he could not contain his shock. That was. Naruto turned towards Tendo. That was my punishment for the foolish mortals, Tendo stated it as if it was obvious. Naruto stared at the boy who called himself God. Even from the memory, he felt Tendo's power. It was massive, greater than anyone he knew. Even Geto's power could not match it. It seems that you have recognized my superiority, Tendo chuckled. Worry not, my master. Right now, I shall assist you. However, the moment I consider you to be unworthy of my power, Tendo's Rinnegan eyes seem to glow. I will end you. After Tendo's declaration, the waves calmed down, as if it were commanded by the heaven. Naruto met Tendo's eyes. I will control your power one day, Naruto promised. I expect nothing less from my master. As a prize, I shall send you the realm of Shirado. The second, Tendo waved his hand towards Naruto and he was sent flying, away from Tendo's location. I hope that you could impress us, master. It would be a pity to end a being such as you. Tendo moved his gaze towards the moon and disappeared into chakra. For now, I should protect our brain from any damage those mortals may cause. Perhaps after this I should speak with Geto. His recklessness almost cost us our body. Naruto fell to the ground. He groaned and looked around. He was in a mountain, then he looked below. A volcanic mountain, he amended. He also noted that this time, the moon was normal. The patterns and the tomo were gone. You must be our Uzumaki Naruto, a voice spoke to him. Naruto turned to the voice and saw another him. This time, the other him had 6 arms and each of them held a sword. He had 3 faces, each with different expression. One calm, one angry, one smiling. Each of them had the Rinnegan. Currently, he was facing the calm one. I am Shirato. The second. The realm of demon, Shirato observed him. Prepare yourself, then he suddenly attacked. Wait! Naruto shouted as he avoided Shirato's sword swings. Why are you attacking me? You are not my master, unless you prove yourself to me, Shirato growled, his face changing into the angry one. I cannot use chakra. How am I supposed to fight? Naruto protested. Indeed, he doubted he could win against a path, if what he saw Geto and Tendo did were any indication of their strength. His chance of winning was shot down, especially without any chakra. Shirato threw 2 of his swords to the ground. Use those then. After Naruto picked the 2 swords up, 2 more swords formed in Shirato's free hands. Then he attacked again. Naruto cursed. He never trained with swords, and facing an opponent who had 3 times swords as he had, he doubted he could win. Did Tendo forget to tell you? Shirato asked. If you lose, the one who killed you will take control of your body. Naruto's eyes widened in surprise. He did not know that. If they were allowed to control his body, he had no doubt that they would cause chaos. He avoided another swing of Shirato's sword and countered with a stab. Shirato deflected it. If you can defeat me, I will grant you my strength and return you to your body, Shirato declared, face returning to the calm one. I doubt you could survive facing the other paths now. For now, my power is enough for you. Shirato stopped attacking. Naruto regained his breath. So, I will face each one of you. And if I win, I will gain your powers, he asked for confirmation. Yes, first you shall face me. After that, you can freely return here to challenge the others, Shirato explained. Can you tell me who they are? Naruto asked. The third, Ninjendo, the human realm. The fourth, Chikashoto, the animal realm. The fifth, Gakido, the Preta realm. The sixth, Jigakudo, the hell realm. And the outer one, Geto, Shirato listed. After you defeated Geto, you may challenge Tendo, the god realm. So he was the strongest after all. Naruto muttered. Strongest? No. In terms of strength, I am the strongest, Shirato boasted. Naruto smirked. All right, bring it on. He instantly moved and cut one of Shirato's right arm. Caught off guard, Shirato screamed in pain. Curse you! Shirato's face became the angry expression and he began attacking wildly. Naruto noticed that while his swings became faster, Shirato's defense was virtually non-existent. He avoided the slashes and cut another arm of his. Shirato calmed down and the face transformed back to the calm one. He jumped away from Naruto. He threw his swords away and formed a giant bow on one of his left arm. And a giant arrow on his right. He positioned them and pulled the string with both of his right arms. Naruto swore he heard the bow creak. Damn, that could be dangerous, Naruto commented. He prepared himself to avoid the arrow. Die! Shirato unleashed the giant arrow towards Naruto. Naruto had to admit, the speed was impressive, but he could avoid it. When he jumped away, the arrow suddenly exploded and he was blown away by the explosion. He skidded on the ground and seemingly fell to the volcano. Shirato moved to check on Naruto. When he peered at the volcano, his eyes widened. Naruto was using one of his sword to stop his fall. He did this by embedding the sword to the mountain. Naruto spun using the embedded sword and flew back to the edge of the mountain. He rolled above Shirato's head and slashed his back. Shirato turned around and was kicked by Naruto to the volcano. "This body is mine!" Naruto shouted. Shirato fell and was consumed by the volcano. Naruto panted and fell to the ground. He laid there and closed his eyes. When he was about to sleep, the sound of volcano woke him up. He stared in shock as Shirato jumped out from the volcano. Shirato's body was broken. He lost all of his right arms, and all but one of his left arm. His angry and calm faces were burned, leaving him with the smiling one. "That was impressive, my master," Shirato laughed happily. "I accept you. We shall work together towards our goal. I am Shirato, the realm of demon. The second path of samsara. My power is yours to command." Shirato disappeared into blue chakra that entered Naruto's body. Naruto smiled, 1 down, 6 more to go. A white door appeared at the place where Shirato stood before. Naruto examined it. "Master, that is the way out." Naruto looked around for the source of the voice. "It's me, Shirato, I am in you." Naruto nodded. He looked at the door again and opened it with a confident smile. "I'm back," he muttered. Uzumaki Naruto opened his eyes. "Sochi, are you alright?" Kushina asked him. Her face was filled with worry. "I'm fine, Okasama," Naruto answered her with a smile. He noted that he was more relaxed now. "That would be because of me," Shirato told him. "I am the realm of demon. I embody your jealousy, struggle, combat or rationalization of the world. Each of the realms embodies certain parts of life. To put it simply, with each of us you absorbed, your mind will grow." Kushina smiled happily and hugged him. "When Tsunade said that you did not wake up, I was so worried. How long did I sleep?" Naruto asked his mother. "You've been asleep for 3 hours, Kushina informed him. 3 huh? Feels longer in my mind," Naruto muttered. "I'll inform Tsunade that you are awake." Kushina kissed him on the forehead again and left the room. "This feels like a déjà vu," Naruto commented in his mind. Then he turned serious. "Shirato, what are your abilities?" he asked. "In my full strength, I am able to summon mechanized armor, augment our body with extra limbs and various weapons," Shirato informed the boy. "I can also greatly enhance our strength." Full strength? Naruto wondered. What did Shirato meant? "Without Rinnegan, I expect my ability to weaken. I doubt I'm able to create giant weaponaries as easily as I should. I still don't have the Rinnegan?" Naruto asked. He thought that defeating one of the paths would unlock his Rinnegan. It seemed that he was mistaken. The key to our power is in the realm of heaven. In Tendo's world, so I have to defeat him first. Most likely. I doubt the arrogant bastard would give it up easily, Shirato growled as he said it. "You don't like Tendo very much, huh?" The paths sometime gathered to talk with one another. He was a prick, Shirato insulted their other self. The last time they met, the arrogant bastard used one of his technique to send them all away, simply because he decided to postpone their meeting. But, he is strong. Stronger than anyone I know, Naruto's mind could not forget what he saw before. How Tendo easily crushed 2 Kyumo shinobis like they were nothing. Though, I agree with you, he is arrogant. And a bastard, Shirato added, causing Naruto to smile. Naruto narrowed his eyes. "Wait a second, how come you can use chakra while I can't?" Naruto asked, referring to their fight in his mind. Shirato could create weapons in the fight against him, but he was unable to use chakra at all. "You fought me in my realm. In my realm, I control everything, and so I can control what can be done and what cannot be done. Before, I forbid you to use chakra." Naruto looked thoughtful. "Is there any rule for the paths?" "Yes, we have to make it fair for you. We can't simply create a realm where we are invulnerable. For every rule that benefit us, another rule that benefit you will be created. In my fight against you, you cannot use your chakra and I cannot use my enhanced strength in most of my weapons," Shirato explained. Naruto nodded. Then he heard a sound of the door being opened and turned his head towards the door. He saw his mother and Tsunade. He nodded as a greeting. Looks like the operation was a success, Tsunade observed. Yes, is there any side effect I should know? Naruto asked as he thought about the 4 possible effects Tsunade told him. You certainly are not stupid. But, you could never open the second gate anymore, Tsunade answered. We had to seal it to prevent it from opening again. Naruto nodded. Certainly the loss of the second gate did not affect his fighting style. But it was quite a loss. Especially after he saw how effective the gate was when Geto controlled his body. Naruto thought about telling Tsunade or his mother about the Rinnegan. He decided not to. He would prefer not to be considered crazy or anything. After all, hearing voices in your head definitely was not normal. For now, you'd better rest. You might be able to be released tomorrow, Tsunade informed him. Naruto nodded. Okasama, can we eat at Ichiraku after I'm released? Naruto asked his mother. Kushina smiled happily. This would be the first time Naruto asked her to eat in a place of his choosing. Usually he would just follow her without a word. Of course, Naruto, she patted his head. Naruto allowed himself to weaken under his mother's care and he half listened to Tsunade's explanation about what he must do while in the hospital. He had to thank Shirato. If it was the normal him, he would not be so content when his mother patted his head. You're welcome, Naruto smiled. The next day, his team visited him in the hospital. Yo Naruto, how are you? Kakashi asked him. I'm fine, better than before, actually. You seems different, Sakura observed. Yeah, you act more relaxed now, Sasuke smirked. Did you finally manage to take out the stick from your ass? Maybe I'm just happy because I beat you with a sandal, magnificent Uchiha-sama, Naruto shot back. There is no stick, metaphorical or not, inside me. I'm sure that Sakura would be happy to check, Sasuke commented with a perverted grin. The hell happened to you, Sasuke? You were supposed to be a cool guy. Naruto lamented the loss of the old Uchiha Sasuke. I prefer getting the girls rather than being cool, came a honest answer from the Uchiha. I blame Kakashi, Sakura said after hearing Sasuke's confession. I second that, Naruto gave a nod. I also blame him, Sasuke added. When his teammates looked at him weirdly he continued. I don't know for what, but I know that it's Kakashi's fault. Agreed, Sakura nodded. Can you guys stop speaking as if I am not here? Kakashi pleaded. You were here, sensei? Sakura asked with a mock disbelieving face. Since when? Sasuke continued Sakura's act. Truly, the speed of the scarecrow is unmatched, Naruto ended. Scarecrows doesn't move, Naruto, Kakashi gave the punchline. I know, Naruto deadpanned. Team 7 decided to follow Naruto and Kushina to Ichiraku Ramen, much to Naruto's displeasure. He did not know why, but thinking about how they would see him and his mother interact made him feel embarrassed. Sochi, you have some ramen on your clothes, Kushina admonished him and took the ramen off his shirt. I'm sorry, Okasama. Naruto hid his blush as he heard Sasuke whispering to Sakura about Mama's boy. It's alright, it was quite a waste of a good ramen though. Kushina looked at the ramen and ate it. Okasama, don't eat it. It is unclean. Naruto tried to stop his mother but failed. You know, seeing Naruto with his mother made me change my view of him. Sasuke commented. Yes, I don't think that he can scare anyone who already saw him with his mother. He looked so cute, Sakura gave a squeal. Beside her, Kakashi giggled. In his mind, Naruto swore revenge against his team while Shirato laughed. Okasama, may I go train after this? Naruto asked Kushina. He hoped she would allow him to. It would give him a good chance to test Shirato's abilities. Kushina thought for a while and she smiled. Sure, but I'll supervise you, okay? I don't want you to faint because of fatigue or something. Men do not faint, Naruto started with an offended look. They collapsed, Sasuke ended. Then they looked at each other and laughed. The whole stand froze. Even, Naruto and Sasuke, who was laughing. Naruto, did you just laugh? Kakashi asked in shock. He doubted that he would react even if someone stole his Aika. Hearing Naruto's laugh for the first time would do that. It was beautiful, Sochi, Kushina smiled as she praised him. She stroked his hairs. Naruto looked away, embarrassed. You know, I was thinking about whether you can laugh or not. I think this is a good confirmation. Sasuke smirked as Naruto's face became redder. I agree with your mother, Naruto, it was beautiful, Sakura nodded. Then they heard a crashing sound. They turned to the source. It looks like I am fainted, Tuchi commented as he saw his daughter's unmoving form. There on the ground, I am laid with a blissful smile. I heard that the angel's voice could cause someone to reach heaven, but this is the first time I see it, Kakashi said with an eye smile. Naruto blushed again and hid himself behind his mother. After they finished eating at the Ichiraku, Team 7 decided to follow Naruto and his mother again. They finally stopped at the Uzumaki family's training ground. Kakashi-sensei, what is the effect of the invasion? Naruto whispered to Kakashi. He would know about it. And, what happened to the Jinchuriki from Taki, Suna and Kiri? Well, Konoha managed to defend itself and there aren't many casualties. After the Sanbai was defeated, most of them surrendered without fighting. About the Jinchuriki, I don't know. Kushina's enhanced hearing managed to pick up what Naruto asked Kakashi and she answered him, the Jinchurikis are fine. But as we are at war, we took this chance to place them in Konoha, for protection. I heard that they will be living with us starting from tomorrow. There are Garakuen, Yudakata-kun, and Fuchan. Naruto frowned. It's not that I don't like Jinchuriki. I know that you are one, Okasama. But, will it be safe? Naruto doubted the two of them could handle 3 Jinchurikis at the same time. Though, if I have to, I could ask Tendo to call Geto. However, he had no desire to repeat what happened last time Geto controlled his body. Don't worry, their seals were reinforced by Jiraiya. They won't be able to cause any trouble, Kushina assured him. Naruto nodded. Trusting his mother, what are you whispering about over there? Sasuke asked them. Naruto shook his head, nothing you need to concern yourself with. Then he had an idea. Sasuke, let's fight. This time, all out, Naruto offered. Sasuke smirked, I'll show you the power of Uchiha-sama. They stood a distance away from one another. Shirato, how do I create a weapon? Visualize the weapon and send chakra to your arm. The weapon would appear. The problem is, I don't think you can create anything more than a sword, Shirato told him. Why? Naruto frowned. He thought that he would be able to create any weapons he wanted. You need to understand how the weapon was built and how it worked. If you just randomly imagine the weapon, you might get an unstable bow and other defective weapons. Begin. Kakashi shouted. Fine, a sword is enough anyway. Naruto immediately imagined a very long sword and sent a large amount of chakra to his right hand. Immediately a long sword was formed in his right hand. The sword was long enough to reach the place where Sasuke stood and he swung it at the stunned Uchiha. Sasuke was slapped away by the back of the sword. Naruto released the chakra and the sword disappeared. What was that? Sasuke asked as he rubbed his cheek that was struck by the sword. Oh, I thought that since I am able to create chains using my chakra, I might be able to create other things. The sword was an experiment, he lied as he smiled innocently. He created another same sword and smacked Sasuke away again. It's so easy to toss you around like a rag doll, Sasuke. Naruto taunted as the sword disappeared again. Now, you've done it. Dai Uzumaki. Sasuke shouted as his Sharingan blazed. Bring it on, Uchiha. Naruto cracked his knuckles and moved into a defensive position. Master, I have an idea. Naruto avoided Sasuke's sweep. What? He asked shortly. He could not afford to lose his concentration in this fight. If he lose in front of his mother, he would be ashamed. I have a jutsu that the bastard taught the other paths. Shirato explained about the jutsu and its effect. Naruto smirked. He jumped away from Sasuke and moved his hand through a series of seals. Sasuke copied them in reflex but realized that Naruto's usual technique would burn too much chakra from him and he stopped. Now he knew what Kakashi meant when he muttered about Uzumaki and their crazy chakra capacity. Shirato, Bunshin. Azura Path, clone, a clone of Naruto appeared beside him. The spectators were confused. Naruto's trademark clone jutsu was Kage Bunshin, but now he used a strange technique to create a clone. Kushina wondered about the connection of this Shirato with the Geto chains that Naruto used at the invasion. Tendo told me that this technique created a clone under the path's control. The clone can only use the path technique. It would last until its chakra ran out or until it was struck by a strong strike. However, with my weaponry, I doubt they could hit me at all. Naruto and Shirado looked at each other and grinned. Time to double-team the Uchiha. Shirado created 2 clubs in his hands. It seems that without Rinnegan, I am unable to manifest my 6 arms. Well, 2 is enough. Naruto summoned 2 chains. Get ready, Sasuke. We won't hold back. It's unfair for Sasuke to be alone. I'll help. Sakura joined the battle on Sasuke's side. Fine, the more the merrier. Naruto summoned 2 more chains. Sasuke went through several hand seals and took a deep breath. Katan, Hozenka no Jutsu. Fire release, Phoenix Sage fire technique. Sasuke shot a volley of small fireballs to Naruto and his clone. Naruto stayed still and Shirado moved to protect Naruto. A giant shield was formed on his left hand that covered both Shirado and Naruto. The small fireballs bounced ineffectively on it. After the volley was finished, the shield cracked open, revealing 10 circular barrel in the shield. Sasuke and Sakura gasped in surprise. Fire! Shirado shouted as a barrage of chakra blasts were shot from the shield. Sasuke and Sakura avoided most of it, but one of them struck Sasuke and he was blown away. Sakura immediately moved to heal Sasuke, but she fell as Naruto's chains coiled themselves on her legs. That's a checkmate, Naruto declared. Then, he heard Kakashi's chuckle and narrowed his eyes. The Sasuke that was blown away disappeared into smoke, accompaniment. Chidori. Sasuke stabbed Shirado from behind and Shirado exploded. I forgot to tell you, if the clone is destroyed, it will explode, Shirado spoke to Naruto. Naruto smiled as he heard Sasuke cursing from behind the smoke. He wordlessly sent his chains towards the Uchiha. Sasuke, seeing the chains, moved to avoid it. But Naruto enhanced the chakra inside the chains, making it move even faster. The movement of the chain and Sasuke were almost like a dance. He jumped over the chains and the chains would curve and chased after him. Shirado, Naruto called. Yes, do you know how to unlock Kaimon properly? He asked the path. He would rather not have a repeat of what Geto did. Hearing an affirmative, a plan hatched in Naruto's mind. Sasuke brought the chains closer to Naruto and jumped away. The chains stopped and turned just before they struck Naruto. Sasuke, just give up, Naruto told the running boy. No way. Sasuke made several hand seals and prepared to cast a jutsu. Naruto decided to use this chance to conduct an experiment. Kaimon, the chains moved faster than before and bound Sasuke before he used his jutsu. Naruto felt a sudden rush of strength and asked Shirado to close the first gate. When the rush of strength disappeared, he relaxed. It seemed that the first gate was still available. Though it was not him who unlocked the gate but Shirado. After watching the effect of the gate, he resolved himself to learn how to unlock at least the first gate. Part of him felt disappointed at the fact that he could not unlock the second one anymore. Oh well, it was what caused me to meet Tendo and Shirado. Naruto decided that the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. Naruto, he heard a shout. Turning his head to the source of the shouting, he saw his mother's worried expression. Naruto prepared himself for a scolding. This battle showed him how strong he was with the help of Shirado. He could not wait to see how strong he would be after all the paths joined him, especially Tendo. That god-complex bastard was strong when he was a kid. He could only imagine his strength now. After he was scolded by his mother, they returned to their home. Naruto watched the ceiling in his room. Shirado, he called. Yes, what is that moon in Tendo's realm? He had been curious about that. It showed his memory and seemed to serve more purpose in his mind. I do not know. It was always there in his realm. Shirado sounded confused. He just attributed the moon as part of Tendo's god complex. Naruto nodded, accepting the answer. Then he decided to inquire more. Can you tell me more about the paths? Shirado was silent and for a moment, Naruto thought he would not answer. Ninjendo represents your passion, desire, doubt, and pride. He is a free and spirited one. He and I get along well, is that so? He is the third, is he not? That meant that Ninjendo would be the next realm he had to face. Yes. Chikashodo is like a beast. He acted according to his instinct. Only Ninjendo and Tendo can control him. He represents your ignorance, instinct, survival of the fittest, and servitude to humans. The animal realm, he wondered what were the abilities Ninjendo and Chikashodo had. Seeing Shirado's abilities made him excited. Kikido is uncontrollable and insane. He is based on the Preta, a humanoid creatures who are always hungry and thirsty. He represents your possessiveness and desire from your previous lives. Previous lives? Reincarnation? Naruto asked out loud. He was familiar with the term reincarnation but he never really cared about it. We are the paths of samsara, master. We represents what you will go through in each reincarnation. Jigakudo is calm and always rational. He represents the plane of rebirth where a mortal will be judged according to their karma. Next to Tendo, he is our leader. Karma. Naruto wondered whether he would be judged guilty or not. After all, killing is bad. Shirado continued, Geto is similar to Chikashodo but I know that he is actually more intelligent than that. He never listened to anyone except Tendo. I don't know how did that bastard manage to get the outer realm to listen to him. Outer realm? Yes, Geto is outside the circle of rebirth. He represents anything that is outside the other paths of enlightenment. The first time the paths and I met him, he tried to attack us. Tendo defeated him though, and Tendo, he was very curious about the self-proclaimed god. When he met Shirado, he felt familiar. He knew that Shirado belonged in him. But when he met Tendo, I don't know how to describe him. But I can tell you one thing I am certain of. Shirado trailed off, and that is, any information about that enigma would be useful. He waited for Shirado's answer. When he did not, he repeated the question. Finally, Shirado told him, Tendo is not Uzumaki Naruto.